Well, looks like we're going to be talking about Joe Biden in this video. And apparently, Joe Biden now has, cancer, apparently. Cancer. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to be talking about, well, not just the fact that he's got cancer, but a bunch of other problems that have been going on, even behind it when he was in president, Like, I want to kind of talk about that. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. And, if you guys don't like this kind of stuff, it's okay. You guys can, watch other videos, because I do a lot of, other videos too. I talk about, like, reviews and all that. I play games. I actually don't really talk about political stuff much. Reason why I've been doing it lately is just because, well, there's been a lot of strange stuff happening, and I've been wanting to talk about it and throw my opinion out. And, I figured why not? Why not talk about this? Because this has been a very big, thing. But, yeah, and the big thing I'm going to talk about is President, Biden, or previous president, he's not the president anymore, President Biden's, cancer. So, yeah, apparently he was diagnosed with cancer. I think it's prostate cancer, I think is what it was, prostate cancer, I think is what it was. There's, like, so many different cancers. Actually, I'm going to look at it real quick, hang on a second. Yeah, it's prostate cancer. I was trying to make sure, because I don't want to give you guys the wrong information here. Unlike a lot of media in today's world, I don't want to give you guys, false information. Because I'm actually going to be talking about that in a second. But, yeah, he has prostate cancer, which is very deadly. I mean, it can be. I don't know, apparently there's a lot of, like, when I was looking up about how long it lasts and all that, or how long you can last with it, I don't know, it's kind of, it varies at times. But with Biden's age and all that, I don't know if he'll last as long. But basically, he has prostate cancer, and apparently very severe prostate cancer, so. Now, I don't really like Biden much. I don't really like Trump either. I mean, I'm kind of, like I talked about before, I don't really care for either president, but the reason why I want to talk about this, though, is because this is kind of pretty severe and all that, and what's happening is, this is where the fun part of the video is going to come in. So, I was going to talk about the president part, and then the social media and all that. So social media and all that would, like, censor this shit and all that, and, well, people would assume it is, but really they did censor it because I got censored and all that. I've been censored too about bringing up Biden's health, and apparently now they're starting to come out and say it, like, I'm like, really, it's not like we already didn't know that, like, I'm sure there's people out there that kind of follow the news but don't, like, watch the speeches or the debates, which I don't really blame people, honestly. These are kind of boring, and all that. I've watched some of them, just boring. I mean, they can be interesting, but especially in Biden's case, they were definitely boring, because Biden didn't know where the hell he was at. He was stumping all the time. He was, like getting off topic and all that, and it just happens when you get older, and yeah, Biden's only a few years older than Trump, but Biden also, being the president and all that, being, in horrible health, in running the country, that's not very good, and not to mention, I think he looks like he's older, he looks like he's older than he actually is, he's aged pretty bad, too, I'm not trying to make fun of people here, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's aged very well. He looks like he's a lot older. I mean, to be fair, he's in his 80s, which you think would make sense, but he looks like, even before that, when he was like in 70s or in 60s and 70s, he's looked like this since like you bring up pictures, he's looked like this since like at least, I think 2012 or something, you know. You know, he just looks like he's a lot older than he actually is and all that, you know, and it's crazy, you know, but that's the thing, though. There's all this shit going on with his speeches and debates, and in the meantime, you got fucking social media out there, like, censoring people's comments and all that. And I want to clarify, a lot of these comments I don't think are probably that bad. I mean, the ones weren't that bad, but I was like, people are out here trying, like, shitting on Trump, and what an awful person he is, and this and that, and want him to be kicked out of the White House, or like he should have been like impeached and all that, because that's what they call it, you know, when the president gets kicked out, they impeach him. They want to impeach him so bad, but they never say a damn thing about fucking Biden. And like I've said, I think a lot of people probably don't watch the debates. They don't watch the debates, or they don't watch the debates, or the or the speeches they do. But the thing is, though, this proves right here you can't just trust social media. And that's the thing, though. And the thing is, they would censor your comments and all. Like I talked about, like, I brought up Biden's health. I'm like, how come people aren't talking about, you know, why he's not getting, you know, censored and all. I've even videoed some of this shit, because they would fucking delete it. Now, I don't know if this was YouTube doing it, or, because I think it was just because I was on, like, you know, other, like, platforms, like, or not other platforms, I was on other, like, videos, like, there was, like, one with, like, we had, like, what was it, yeah, Barack Obama, we had Barack Obama, and then and all that, and he would censor the damn comment, I mean, you know, they would censor the comments there and all, because Barack Obama was also running his mouth and all that about Trump and all that, and I'm just like, you guys want to talk about how bad Trump is? You guys are literally letting this fucking elderly guy here, who's in poor health, run a damn country, you know? I mean, it's one thing maybe to be a boss, which, I mean, even being a boss, you know, you have to, you're kind of limited there. I mean, we had a boss. Well, by we, I mean my dad had a boss. His name was Frosty. Well, his name was actually Forrest. You know, we called him Frosty because of his white hair. Actually, the shop is actually called Frosty's Auto Clinic. I think it might have been maybe it was just his actual nickname. I don't know if they say because of his white hair, but I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it was a nickname, but his real name was Forrest. But once he got older and he got into his 90s, they had to kick him out of the job. They had to force him out because he was making a lot of mistakes, was too old to run, you know, stuff. I mean, it sucks. Like, it sucks to get older. I mean, it sucks. I'm not gonna say it doesn't suck, because it sucks. But that's what just happens when you get older. You know, you just don't run as well as you used to and all that, you know? And until the technology comes and all that, like, where we can preserve our body or find better ways to make us, you know, function better, I mean, we're still gonna get older and die, you know? It just happens, you know? I mean, maybe eventually, like I said, we'll probably have technology, but we're talking about way down the road. Like, that won't happen anytime soon. I think I've heard something about Elon Musk, you know, talking about that with chips in your brains and all that. And all I can think about that is, like, the prequel trilogy of Star Wars, and the whole thing where the clones turn against, you know, they all turn against the Jedi and all that. You know, that's all I can think about. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to become a mindless slave to people, you know. I mean, I wouldn't mind living forever. I really wouldn't. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, call me crazy, but I would totally put my body in freeze it or something if it can keep my brain, you know, intact. You know, but, because I'd like to be brought back to life, but still, you know, I mean, it's not going to happen anytime soon, but the thing is, though, that's kind of the thing with getting older. You might end up like Joe Biden here and all that. It just happens. But some people, you know, get older faster than others. And some have come out and said, even I've said this about, in some of the comments about him possibly having Alzheimer's. And I think he might, you know, it's possible he could have Alzheimer's. And I mean, I'm not making fun of Joe Biden. I'm serious. The way he was acting. I had a great grandma who passed away from Alzheimer's. Now I was I was almost 3. I think it was almost 3, or I was actually 3 when she died. I can't remember what month she passed away, but I was damn near 3. And although I don't remember a whole lot about her, I do remember a bit about her. Like, I remember, like, when I go visit her, like, she wouldn't remember my name and all that. Sometimes it sucks. Like, it really sucks, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, the fact that people are out here trying to, like, again, censor this shit and all that, then, like, why would people want to trust you, That's the problem, though. I mean, there are people out here that still believe it, They believe that Trump is this horrible person. My mom's like that. Like, hell, I brought this up to my mom. I'm like, you guys are, like, saying that Trump needs to be impeached, but you're fine with Joe Biden being in office. And she's like, I'd rather have him in office than Trump and all that, at least he's running things better. I'm just like, that's kind of stupid. Like, I don't mean to say that, but, like, if you're aware of somebody being like this, it's one thing not to know, but if you're aware, like, who you're voting for and all that is like this, then you got a problem with that, And yeah, people go back and forth on Trump and, Biden, or on the parties and all that, but again, a lot of shit that people blame Trump for, I'm like, is it even true? I'm not saying he couldn't have done some of this stuff, but, like, he was, like, accused of, like, what was it he's accused for? I don't know, there's, like, 34 or something, this or that, I don't know, like he's this pedophile, smoking maniac and all that. I'm just like he has drugs and all that. I don't know, I feel like it just doesn't make much sense. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised maybe Trump did do, like, some of the stuff, not smoking and all that, but, like, Trump would, like, go out, and probably, like, maybe has done some legal stuff and all that in the past, like a lot of these, politicians have done, but smoking and harassing people, I don't know, it's like, and my mom does bring up a good point, though, at least with this, not with Biden, but with this, like, when you have multiple people coming out and saying that, then there has to be a problem. But that's the thing, though. A lot of these people have also attacked Trump, but then fucking defend Biden here, even though he was in horrible health. So again, I'm like, why would we believe that, And I mean, it's not always the case. Like, I think there was this Nickelodeon star, Drake Bell. I think it's come out and said, I think he's done some of this stuff, but, like, some of the crap I think he was accused of that he didn't do and all that, but he came out like he had a lot of mental problems growing up and all that, and it was a mess and all that, but I don't know, I'm just like, I just don't look at Trump, I don't look at Trump like this. I think Trump is just more of a, he's definitely a grumpy old man and all that who has his head up his ass at times with, like, other countries and all that, but, like, I don't know, I'm just like, I shouldn't say much because I voted for him, but I'm like, again, I wanted to vote, because I'm like, the crap we were dealing with when Biden was in office was not very good. And I'm just like, also, the fact that the people are accusing of, him smoking, so I'm like, Kamala Harris has also done speeches, too, before they were doing these, before they were going out, and debating on who was going to be the president, with the voters and all that. Kamala Harris was going out and saying something about smoking and all that, like smoking, what was it, not marijuana, but other stuff, and I'm like, just the way she was saying it kind of sounded weird, and she was constantly switching up her stuff, too, and all that. I mean, Trump kind of did that a little bit, but not, like, as bad as she was doing and all. I don't know, there was just some crazy crap going on. But that's kind of why I just don't get involved with politics. But I only voted for Trump because, number one, I want to kind of have things kind of go back to the way they were before, all this COVID crap hit. And all, and number two, I'm like, I kind of want to get my dad off my back and all, because he was like, because I'm still living with my dad here, because it's kind of hard for me to get some prices, get my own place and all that, because prices are expensive. So I've been just living with him. I'm actually thinking about just staying with him and just buying out the house out from under him in the future. I've talked about it in the past, but I haven't really got that figured out yet. But that's kind of why I was, voting, because he's like, you can't vote if you can't have your own opinion if you can't, vote on this, and all that. And I'm like, that kind of doesn't make much sense, because like, okay, if you vote for this, and I'm like, other people are gonna bitch at you no matter what, but like, I don't know, I'm just like my dad, like, allegedly living in a house with somebody, that's kind of a problem. But yeah, my mom's very far, well, not very, very far, but far left. My dad's far right. Well, not far right, left. What I consider far left and far right are people like, who kind of like, get very snotty with you and all that, with the way you vote and all that, and call you out and this and that, and that's kind of the shit I don't like. But there are people I've known who voted this or that, and it's fine, it's perfectly fine. But I don't know, but I'm just like, like I said, I don't want to get censored either. That's kind of another reason why I voted for Trump, because I'm sick of this damn censorship. Like, it's gotten really bad, in the last few years. It's gotten really bad, but people just need to come out and, have their own opinions. Like, even if you don't disagree with them, just let them have their own opinion, I just don't see the problem with it, but I don't know. I'm just like, but the fact that, again, that, Joe Biden here has some health problems and all that too, and then now we got CNN and all that, I think, out there trying to say he does, even though they never questioned it when they were in the fucking debate, with him and, Trump. It's definitely a problem. Because, yeah, I think it was definitely really funny, too, like when they had a debate with Trump and Biden before that, and then they had one with Kamala Harris and Trump afterwards. And that was kind of out of nowhere, too. So, I think they just secretly kicked on Biden out. They tried to say that Biden, left. And I think he even said that, but I'm pretty sure they kicked his ass out. Because they kicked Biden out because, he was getting too unstable to do this, But, yeah, and now that he has, cancer and all that, I don't know what will happen now, if he'll live a few more years or not, but he's over 80 years old, so I don't know, but I'm just like the lesson here is to don't lie to people. Just, if you want to have your opinions, fine, but don't go lying to people about stuff that's not true, or this or that. Again, I'm not saying that the stuff Trump did is true or not, but it's really hard to say when, again, you have people out here, on the other side trying to censor you and all that with Biden. I don't know. I'm just it's annoying, But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of throw in my opinion out here, because this shows you how ridiculous this all is. But that said, though, I'm going to actually let things go from here, because I'm actually working on the house, so I won't get as many videos done today, but I did want to get these two out, because these two are very big ones, and all that. But, yeah. And the next video, I'm going to try to get tackle the I actually want to talk about some store chains that are coming back too, because those are going to be more excited to talk about than political stuff, because I don't like talking about that. But I'll see you guys all later. Bye bye.